Welcome back. We're taking a tour through Geode Private Messaging, my personal favorite app on the entire Geode system. Domain name services is closed, but I do love private messaging. You can get to all the apps from the home page. You will be using your default account, and you can get more information about that right there, and you can change your default account on the My Accounts page. But you'll be calling from or acting as that account through the whole thing. You're going to want to make sure you set up your settings. If you haven't done it already, you're going to have to load the contract the first time you approach this app, just the first time. But you can check anybody's settings. This is going to be useful if you need to pay to get into somebody's paid inbox, or to remember what your settings were. You can update your settings anytime you want. Here you can pick a username. You can put your interest words. Now, if the username is taken, it's just not going to go through. So if it doesn't go through, try a different username. You can do your interest words. Whatever you like to see ads for, put that in here. And because that's going to help people find you and want to pay to get into your paid inbox and pay you to look at their ads for what you're interested in. So you can set whatever username you like. There is a 50-character limit, and you can set your inbox fee. What are people going to have to pay to send you a message if they are not otherwise allowed to send you one for free? Now, you can hide your account. You can make it private if you don't want people sending you paid messages and paying you to look at those messages. You can hide it from search by making it private, and then you'll click submit. So that gets you all set up. So you do have a regular inbox and you have a paid inbox, right? And these are two very separate things. Your paid inbox is for allowed accounts only. Only people you have specifically allowed to message you can message you. You can add, you can remove people from your allowed list. You can block and unblock people. Now, this also helps block them from sending you paid ads. So that's where block comes in handy, because nobody can message you in your regular free inbox unless you have specifically allowed them to. Or you can delete everything you ever sent to a specific person. Now, this does not delete their side of the conversation. It just deletes any message you ever sent to that other account. But you can do that en masse right there in the allowed accounts area. So let's take a look next at groups. Groups are what you think of. It's like a group text message. You can use keywords to find groups you might be interested in, and you can narrow it down. So there's a group there. You can join the group, or if you're already in it, you can leave the group. You can join a specific group if you have the hash code for that group. Now, why would you want to do that? Because some groups are private and they're not listed in the search. They can't be found in the search. There's a lot of privacy here, people. And so some groups you're going to have the hash code in order to join. Now, maybe that's because you want to sell the hash code, or maybe it's because you just want that much privacy for your group. But you can join or leave a group by the hash code as well. In your own groups, you can make your own. If you want to make a group, you're just going to give it a name. You can make your group private if you want, and you can change that later. You can go public later, or vice versa. Give it a description, send a first message, and you can attach a file via URL to that message if you want to. Then you'll click submit, and your group is created. It's just that easy. If your group is public, other people will be able to find it in the search. Now, lists are like newsletters. So a list is owned by one account and broadcasts out to the subscribers just like a newsletter. So you can search for lists, you can join a list, you can unsubscribe from a list. You can see all the lists that you are currently subscribed to so that you can unsubscribe if you want to. And you can look at the list that you own. So my lists are the lists that you personally own yourself, that you're sending newsletters out to other people. You can make your list private, which means it won't show up in the search, but you could still hand out the hash code to other people to join. And give your list a description. Most newsletters tend to be public because you tend to want subscribers. So then let's take a look at paid inbox and regular inbox. Your paid inbox is where people have paid you directly, no middleman, to put advertisements or to just simply get your attention in your inbox. When you've pulled up your inbox, then you can pay and clear your inbox once you've seen them all. You can also send a paid message from inside your paid inbox. So you can decide who you want to send the message to. You can type your message. You can include a link to a file of any kind, and make sure that you pay enough to get into their inbox. Check their settings before you message them to find out what they charge for their inbox, because they do get to change that anytime they want. Click this button right here to switch between accounts you own and addresses that are in your address book. So we'll just pretend we're sending a message here. Maybe it costs 100 Geode to get into Catherine's inbox on Geode messaging, and we can send a message that way. And send your paid message. That coin is not deducted from essentially sort of an escrow in the contract. The contract will hold that coin until that person actually views the message, and then they can get paid for that message. So your regular inbox on private messaging is for the people that you have specifically allowed to message you. Remember, you have to allow them to do it. You can start a conversation with anyone here. Use this little toggle here to switch between accounts you own and addresses in your address book. You can write a message up to 300 characters, and you can have a file link URL of just a URL, any kind that you want to put there to go with it, and send your message. Those conversations will show back up in the inbox. Your groups have a separate tab here, and the list that you are subscribed to have a separate tab for reading them there. And that is Geode Private Messaging. Definitely my favorite app on the entire system. Very important to note. Unlike some other apps, absolutely nothing here is written to the chain. Nothing. You will see that there's a gas fee when you send a message. It's very, very tiny. So you will see that you used the app. But no one will know what you did with the app. Were you just reading a newsletter? Were you sending a private message to a person? Were you participating in a group? Nobody's going to know. And it definitely cannot see the content of your messages, and nothing we can do, this code is locked, will ever let anybody see the content of it. So share that with your friends, have fun, and we'll see you on chain.